Some big changes. An update on my mom. Stay tuned. Hi, and welcome to my channel. As I said, there are some big changes in reference to my mom. So I want to share that with you, but before I do, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel, ring that bell for all future notifications, give me a like if you like it, and leave me a comment. Well, I'm just going to tell you about a day in my life, and it was a day this past week. And boy, what a day it was. First, I'll give a little bit of background. My mother, who is 94 and a half, 94 and 7 months, we brought her here from Pennsylvania 3 years ago. She had fallen and ended up in a nursing home up there. So we brought her down here to be with us, and she recovered and she's done very, very well. So she was not in a nursing home here, and that was our goal, to keep her out of a nursing home. That's what we wanted. And she definitely wanted that too. So the first 2 years, she improved from her fall in Pennsylvania, and she did pretty good. Now she has dementia and she is blind. So those are her two big problems. Physically, she's fine. Her body's in good shape. She has no heart disease, lung disease, kidney disease, anything like that, and her blood work is perfect. In fact, it came out better than mine. So that's how she is physically. Now, in this past year, she has really gone downhill. The dementia has increased a lot. She developed that sundowners, where after about 3:30, 4 in the afternoon, she's like a completely different person. She's nervous, she cries, she's very confused, all the things that happen with that sundowner syndrome. And of course, the very little bit of eyesight she had left from the macular degeneration has gone out. So that has made life much more difficult for her. Now, Dave and I are her caregivers, and in February of this year, I hired a girl, Erica, who's been an angel, and she's been going to help every day from 7:30 in the morning till 12:30 in the afternoon. But my mother needs constant care now, constant. She is really in danger because of her mind. She can't understand things and she doesn't listen. Now, a couple months ago, we were told it's time to get her hospice because of her dementia. And hospice, I'm sure it has a place in certain situations and circumstances. For example, if someone was bedridden, on a lot of medication, in a lot of pain, had maybe heart disease, kidney failure, or some serious medical issues, that could be a real blessing. But hospice really hasn't done anything for us. They come in a couple times a week. They check her vitals, which I do the same thing. I take her blood pressure and her oxygen levels, and that's it. They said she looks great, and she's not on medication, so they don't have to give her any medication, and that's the end. Well, that's about 20 minutes to check those things out. We need help with her. She needs help in every area. She can't bathe anymore. She thinks she does. She thinks she takes a shower every day, but she does not. She gets very offended and very angry If you say you need to get a shower or I'll help you with the shower, I took my shower. I take one every night and every morning. Well, yes, she did for many, many, many years. But she lives in the past because she can't remember the present, not even 2 minutes ago what happened. So that's a difficulty. And she insists on dressing herself, which is wonderful to have that kind of spunk. But her clothes are backwards, they're inside out, but she's a very proud and stubborn woman, and she wants to do everything herself, and she does not believe anything has changed. She thinks she's the same as she's been all her life. So we knew that she needed more care, and it's care that we can't provide. I can't pick her up. I mean, she's not a big woman. She's my height and maybe 15 pounds heavier than me. Well, she's probably about 2 inches shorter than me now. She's shrunk, but still, I can't pick up dead weight off the floor. And she has fallen 4 times now, and recently, just this past week, about a week ago, she had another fall. And on that one, I had to call 911. She went to the emergency room. That woman didn't break a thing. All the falls that she has had, and they were hard falls. You'd think at her age she would have broke a hip or something, broke some bone. Nope. Her bones must be strong or made of steel because she has not broke anything. Well, she went to the ER and she was there a couple hours and they released her because she didn't break anything. Of course, I know she's in pain because that kind of fall, you know you're going to be in pain. But of course, she said nothing hurt. She's in no pain. She feels great. She can skip. She can jump, In her mind, she can do those things. Well, I'll back up a little bit. About 8 months ago, we applied for Medicaid because we knew that as much as we want to keep her home, things were really going downhill fast. And we knew that this couldn't last forever. She had worked all her life. Years ago, she worked at the telephone company. And then for the past, not the past 30 years, but for 30 years, since she was like 50 or 49 or somewhere in there, until she was 79 and a half, she worked at Fashion Bug. Now, that's just a ladies' clothing store. I don't know if you all remember them. They're not in existence anymore. But she worked there for 30 years in retail. She's a hard worker. And she got in the 401 program, so she felt she had a good retirement to carry her through her life. But she didn't count on living to be almost 95 years old. So her money ran out. She has no money to go to a nursing home. Nursing homes are $10,000 and above dollars a month. Yes, that's what they are. It's shocking to me. Well, I don't have $10,000 a month either to send her to a nursing home. So we applied for Medicaid about 8 months ago. It dragged on. It was a nightmare. It's been a nightmare. Terrible program. Just terrible here. But anyhow, every week I would call, is her application processed yet? How is it? Do you need anything? No, they didn't need anything. It was still processing. And after I heard that week after week, all these months, I called, still processing. They just said, well, we're behind. We have lots of applications and we can't tell you when it'll go through. And I would say, look, the woman's almost 95. Come on, she needs some help. But, that's not going to do any good. So after she fell last week, Dave, my husband, was just so upset because we have tried for so long to find help somehow, some way. We tried state agencies, agency on the aging and just everything we could do. And there's no answers, I'm here to tell you. So he sat down and he said, I'm going to email the senators in South Carolina and the congressmen. And I was like, Dave, don't waste your time. You know, these people aren't interested, or what are they going to do? Just because my mother can't get her Medicaid application processed. Now, people have all kind of problems. I mean, they probably won't even read the email, and if they do, it might be a year from now. And he said, well, I pay my taxes, and I'm going to at least try it. And I thought, boy, what a waste of time. Well, I had to eat those thoughts because he did that, and he heard from all three of them. Can you believe that? And I mean that day. And the first one to respond was the office of Senator Tim Scott here in South Carolina. His administrative assistant didn't just send an email reply, she called. And she wanted some information like my mother's date of birth and Social Security and her Medicaid case number, etc. And she said she was going to work on it. She was going to call Medicaid and she was going straight to the top and try to get us some help. Well, that was very helpful, and I thought, wow, maybe in the next month or two this will come true. That afternoon, I got a call from Medicaid, and they said, your mother's application has been processed. It's complete. So she got her Medicaid that same day. How miraculous is that? That whole day was a day full of miracles and blessings. So in addition to that, before we got the call from Medicaid, that same day that Senator Scott's representative contacted us, my mother's PCP, she was notified of my mother's fall because the report from the ER went to her, and she called me and she said, you know, she knows how long we've been dealing with all this and how hard we've tried, and we just can't get anywhere and can't get any help from my mother. And so she said, let me work on something. I'm thinking about something maybe we can do, at least for the short term. So she took her own time and she took interest in this. She made some calls. She had somebody come out and do an assessment on my mother that day. And my mother was accepted into a rehabilitation hospital that day. So all this is happening on the same day. And I was just shocked. I just couldn't believe it, that could happen. And a rehabilitation hospital, that's a short-term thing. Now, it's not long-term. But it could be a couple weeks or maybe up to 6 weeks, maybe 2 weeks, depending on what they're going to do. But the point is, she can get some help, which she needs. Now, they can't rehabilitate her eyesight. Her eyes are gone. She's blind. They can't rehabilitate her mind because of the dementia. And how she got in and got her in, I don't know. It's God is in all of this. I'm telling you. In every bit of it. Because this is miraculous to me. And there's no explanation for it. And when I told hospice that they were trying to get her in this rehabilitation hospital, the nurse said, there's no way. She said, I have recommended several cases over the years for that, and it's not going to be approved. Well, it was approved. My mother's case was approved. And Medicare takes care of that. So she can go in this rehabilitation hospital for short term. Medicare covers those costs. And then that same day, we found out that her Medicaid application was approved. So as of that day, she could go in a nursing home if there were beds, which I don't know if there are or aren't. So wonderful, wonderful things happened that day. It's bittersweet because now my mother will have to go in this rehabilitation hospital on Monday. They're going to call me Monday morning. That'll be Monday, November 2nd, because I'm filming this on Sunday, November 1st. And they'll call me Monday morning to let me know what time to bring her. Now that's going to be the difficult part because she is not going to like it. She is going to have a fit. She doesn't like any medical care of any kind. She doesn't feel she needs any. She doesn't know she fell. She can't remember. She doesn't remember any of the falls. 10 minutes after the fall, she doesn't know she fell because her memory's gone. So to explain to her, you're going here for rehabilitation services or whatever, number one, she's not going to know what I'm talking about. Number two, she will just put up a fit. I'm not going. I don't need any help. I can do everything I've always done. I'm the mother. Do you hear me? I'm not going. I mean, that's how she is. So it's going to be very, very difficult. I don't know how we're going to do it or what we're going to say. I can't even think about it right now. I just can't. The good news, she will be safe. That's the best part. And hopefully from there will be a bed available that she can then transfer to the nursing home part because she's covered now with Medicaid. That would be the absolute dream situation, and I have every hope that it will work out that way. So that's a good thing. It's just a very challenging time because, number one, we never wanted her to have to be in a nursing home. But I have to realize that no matter what I want, she needs this. I mean, she's very old. You know, she's lived a very good, long life, and she's at such risk. And I don't want her to fall and just have a devastating accident or a deadly, traumatic accident by falling and splitting her head open or whatever. And she won't stay still. She just won't. She walks and walks and walks. Can't see. She knows the house. She knows what to feel, what to hold on to. And as she's walking, she's got a hand going like this because she can't see where she's going. And I can say, Ma, if she's on the couch, I say, Ma, I got to go to the bathroom. Stay here on the couch. Don't get up. Oh, I won't. The minute I leave the room, she's up. And at night, she'll get out of that bed and she's walking around. She just will not lay or sit. I'm telling you, no grass grows under her feet for sure. So this is going to be a very difficult thing to do. If you've ever been in this situation, you know what I'm talking about. And I just have to trust, and I do trust, that God is in control. These things happened and came into play because of Him, not because of anything else. I've tried all these months and got nowhere. Well, you know what? Maybe if I had sat back all these months ago and said, God, help me. I can't do anything. I'm just leaving it all up to you. And let your will be done instead of inserting my own. If I would have just done that, imagine how different it would be. I didn't realize I was doing that, but I was. You know, it was my mother. I wanted to be in charge of it or be in control. I wanted it to work out the way I thought was the best way for it to work out for her. Well, I don't know the best way. God knows the best way. His will needs to be done, not mine. That was a lesson to learn, and I have definitely learned it. So I just wanted to share that with you all. I've watched videos, and I'm catching up, and I'm leaving comments. It's been so hectic for the last week or so, between hospice, the doctor, the emergency room, Medicaid, the senator's office, just so much going on. And I'm trying my best. But I am so very grateful and impressed that Senator Tim Scott, in one day, not even an overnight, just a matter of hours, got my mother's Medicaid application processed. That is phenomenal. It's just fantastic. Now my son, Nathan, my youngest son, is coming down today with one of his sons, Noah. Noah will be 15 in February. He's extremely close to my mother, which would be his great-grandmother. They have a connection that nobody can explain. You can see it when you look at pictures of them. You can see it, but it's very special. So Nathan is bringing Noah down so that he can see my mother here instead of in the rehab hospital. And he can take her for a golf cart ride again. He spent the summer here and did that, and spent every day with her. So I'll try to insert a few pictures. I've showed him before. And then my sister and her husband are coming the next day, which would be Monday, November 2nd. And this video will go up November 3rd. So it's busy around here, a lot going on. I just wanted to share it with you, and I appreciate you listening. My next video, which will be on Friday, November the 6th, will be my video with my stitches gone. I will give an update. I'll show you what I look like without these stitches that are still here. Can't have any makeup on or anything yet, and then I'll let you know how things went as far as getting my mother into the rehab hospital. I thank you so much for listening to me. I know I've had a lot to say. And now I need to leave you with an inside beauty tip. For my inside beauty tip today, I'm just going to speak from the heart, from my heart. I could quote many biblical scriptures that have helped me and would help you or anybody in this situation. But I just want to say that for me, trusting God in all of this has been vital. And it's been difficult because I want to take control. I want to have things happen the way I want them to happen for my mother. I just have in my mind how it should be. Well, God has a plan, and it's His will for her life that matters, not my will. And the prayer is for His will to be done. And I have talked and had so many conversations with God about all of this. And I just told Him, God, help me. Keep me out of the way. Make me mindful when I start thinking, which I do too much of how it should be, or what should I do next, or what else can I do, and all that I've gone through over these last several months, trying so hard to find help. And I got nowhere, absolutely nowhere, just completely frustrated. When God directed Dave to get on that computer and email senators, 2 of them, and a congressman, like that's going to do anything? Yeah, it did something. And on top of that, that same day, her doctor said, we're going to get something done here. And then came the rehabilitative hospital suggestion. And for her to get in when she really can't be rehabilitated is a miracle in itself. You don't go to a rehabilitation hospital just because you're old and you have dementia and you're blind, because you have to meet a certain medical necessity. These are the Medicare guidelines. I don't know all of this stuff. I didn't know any of it. But her doctor did. And she took her time to make all these calls and put this all together and got her in. Now, that was God at work. That had nothing to do with anything any of us had done or tried to do. And the fact that her Medicaid came through that same day, so after she's released from the rehabilitation center or hospital, that she can then go in a nursing home and be safe, safer than she is now, those are all miracles. And I am just so grateful. I can't believe it. When all this happened, my head was just spinning. And I realized when I said to God, keep me out of the way. Do whatever you have to do. Let something fall on my head. Whatever has to happen. You be in charge, God. Let your will be done. If I leave it in God's hands, He will take care of it. But I was so busy putting it in my hands that I couldn't get anything done. I was just wasting time. You know, it's a very difficult situation. Any of you who have already gone through this with a parent that, you know, has dementia or is at the end of their life. I know a fellow YouTuber, Connie Murphy from the channel Over 70 and Still Glamorous, and she is. She took care of her mother for, I believe, 12 years. And her mother did pass away at home. That was my dream, that my mother would never be in a nursing home of any kind, that she would just pass away at home. That's what I wanted for her. That's what I was going to make sure happened. I had it all planned out, everything down to the washing of her body that we would do, the after-death prayers, everything. That was all my plan. Obviously, that was not God's plan. And I'm glad He put me in my place and showed me that He has all the power and His will be done in His timing and the way He wants it done. You know, this is a very difficult situation, and my heart goes out to anybody who may be facing this right now or have already been through it. All I can say is, you know, let go and let God. He has the ultimate plan, and nothing we plan will ever compare to His plan. I thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. And I pray for anybody who's in this situation. And I am so grateful for the lessons that I have learned. And once I learned them, and God had to smack me around a little bit to get me to get it, it all came together. He took over, and it's miraculous. That's all I can tell you. Thank you again. I appreciate it. And until we meet again, This is the old girl signing out with a sad heart. See ya.